Yeah, I think especially in this game. This was a ATL game I played last week against the Alpha X dudes, and this is kind of one of the problems that I have with my build is like weird unit numbers to stop the first push. I either have way more than enough to crush it, or it's kind of iffy.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what happens in this game. Is it's kind of weird, and then after I hold the initial push, I just like destroy him after that. So.
Do you think you're inconsistent, or do you think it's just like better Terrans?
I think it's probably me, because I know to some games where I'll make like a decent amount of early game units.
Yep.
And then some games I'll make 2 stalkers and try to go into the straight 3 Colossus or something retarded like that.
Yeah, you can't. You definitely can't rush it. You gotta have like a good trigger so it's safe.
Yeah, and this game was weird because for some reason I got my probe over right outside his main base and it never died. So I was able to see that he was going up to 5 racks on 2 bases.
Oh, nice.
So one of those 5-on-1s with a delayed third and all that.
Like your probe was in his main the whole time?
No, it was right here. I can't do it, but where it's at now, it stays there for like the next 5 minutes. I have no idea why.
That's funny. Maybe he had like health bars off or something.
Yeah, so something weird happened. So because I saw that, I wasn't entirely sure what to do. So I went charge first, which looking back on it and thinking back on it was kind of dumb because it didn't finish in time anyways, really.
Oh,
so I think it would have been better to still go blink instead.
Yeah, yeah, definitely go blink. I mean, Colossus basically take the role of the charge lots. Like if you're gonna open Colossus, then you don't really need the charge plus the Colossus usually.
Yeah.
The Colossus are good enough. So you want to kind of cover some of your weaknesses instead with the blink, exactly.
Yeah, so that's kind of what I was thinking in this is, oh, he's going one of these crazy, insane, super aggressive Terran builds, so
yeah, maybe
I wasn't entirely sure how my Colossus and all that would handle, so.
Okay, so he's went Hellion for Scout. Mine...
Yeah, which that confused me too. I was like, what in the world?
Yeah, this is something some Terrans have been doing lately, just to get, like, to see how many gases you have.
Yeah.
So that they can kind of figure out if you're all-inning them or not. I mean, this guy didn't really use it properly at all. He's
that was
kills,
the first. That was the first time I'd ever seen somebody go just a singular Hellion like that. I was so confused when I saw it.
Yeah, yeah. No, it is pretty advanced. It's kind of subtle. I mean, this guy's not even using it properly, so it's probably not something you should even be doing. But okay, so you grab your third.
I think my hallucination scout completely missed it, and I saw the tech lab. So when there was randomly a Hellion in my base, I was completely thrown off guard with that. So
yeah, you probably won't see it in time. So yeah, you'll just be surprised. That's okay though. I mean, it's not even really supposed to get any damage. You can just should be fairly easy to kill.
Yeah.
But okay, so you've seen this guy is going 1-1-1 into pretty fast second racks. So you got your stalkers in position. Where are your obs? Hold up.
I think I put one on the top side and then one on his side. I think I forgot the third one again.
Oh, you put one over here in the top.
Yeah.
Okay, so this ob, well, so basically you only have so many obs, right? Like you can probably only get 3 before the drop. I think you should make 1 more, first of all. But also, this obs is kind of a little bit wasted in a way because this, you can easily put a pylon over here. So this is a great position to have vision of, but you can just put a pylon over here instead. And then you can also get, you know, vision of spots that are harder to get to. Right? Like over here, basically. If you can see.
Yeah, on that like southeast base right there.
Yeah, why is my ping not going through?
I don't know, mine didn't earlier either, so it kind of confused me.
That's weird. I've never had that before. But okay, so
maybe,
I mean, like to the
maybe
right
it's because this is on WCS. Maybe it's disabled under Game Heart.
Maybe, yeah, could be. But okay, so to the left of the main, basically, is where you should have 2 obs. So one at the bottom, and then one maybe more mid area. And so that when the medevac comes in here, you can see it, because your stalkers are in a pretty good position, but you don't necessarily know that it's a good position, right? Like you could definitely be flying in the natural here. And maybe he even sneaks around you in a second. Look at that game sense. Moving your stalkers at 4:30. Okay. Oh. All right, not too bad. Good defense, good pull. Yeah, sacrifice a probe. Yeah, nicely done. Okay,
I've gotten fairly better at reacting to the Widow Mines if I don't free pull like that. So.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you don't lose like 15 probes, it's pretty okay.
Oh god, I've had that happen before. That's the worst.
Yeah, I mean, you instantly lose the game, so
yeah.
You're fine here. One stalker, I mean, it's not ideal, but it's totally fine. Like, you're definitely still in a good spot. So,
oh yeah, I'd much rather lose that one stalker than like 8 probes or something
yeah,
like that.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so you have your Colossus, you have your +1, and okay, so this is fine, but you should probably prioritize the Twilight Council over the +1.
Okay.
I don't think the +1's that important. Like, you're trying to keep up with Terran on upgrades by doing this, but it makes it really easy for them to outmaneuver you, especially when you're playing Colossus already, right? Like, it's such a slow comp. And if you have the huge tech advantage of Colossus, then you don't need to also keep up on upgrades, right? And economy. So I just think you're gonna make it harder on yourself in the mid game by going for the fast +1.
Yeah, I think it's one of those holdovers when I was trying to do like the Mass Gate style.
Right. Yep.
Because you go forge so fast in that one, and I think I've kind of just held that habit over from that.
Yeah, this style is like the complete opposite. But everything else looks great. Your units are in a pretty good position, covering both sides. You got some.
I remember
some
my sputter
placement here.
pylons, so
yeah, these are
I was so proud of myself this game.
Yeah, this is great.
Except the time I forget this.
Okay, and let's see on his side. Okay, so maybe he killed your obs. I didn't notice, but he got your obs. He might also.
Yeah, he did when the Raven popped.
He did. Okay, yeah, that's unfortunate. I would just make another one, to be honest, and get some more vision, because right here I guess you're not too bad. You could also just use your sentries, but you do need some additional info here to figure out if he's playing 3cc or 5 racks. Because I think you were saying earlier you saw 5 racks, so you were under the assumption that he was being aggressive, right?
Yeah, I saw it with the hallucination, and then I've got this one that I've got going out now is going to check the third base and then go back into the main.
Okay, so the scouting that you're doing is great. Like, you definitely want to know about this third. I think the timing is a little bit scary, because if he was doing a really committed 5 racks, you've been slightly too greedy.
Okay.
So it could be scary if he's really precise. Like, you have, let's see. So you have a great gate count. So 6 gates is perfect. And so the main thing that you have too much of is just the probes and the gas at the third. Because look at the worker count right now. It's kind of insane. You're actually like really far ahead, but almost too far ahead. So you want to slow that down a little bit and just make sure he has the third first before probing too much.
Okay.
Like, a good place to stop would be 16. Maybe that's too many. Maybe like 8 or 10 at the third base on the minerals, but no gas. Grab your gates, make a bunch of units, and then once you see the third, you can do what you're doing here.
Okay, that makes sense. I think that's what gets me in a lot of trouble is I just play like super greedy in most of my games, probably.
Yeah, and I'm sure sometimes they take advantage of you for that. But this game, you definitely got away with it. So your position's nice if you can hold this attack. Ooh. So yeah, I mean that was rough. Basically, I mean, you probably know what went wrong there. Like, if you attack move the Colossus, once they're disabled, then they just move forward.
Yeah, they derp around like disruptors do. I kind of thought about that, like, in the moment. I was like, oh, I can move and I was like, well, maybe they'll just soak up some damage and let the other Colossus do work, is kind of what I was thinking.
Okay. But in retrospect, maybe not.
Yeah, probably not. Probably not the best idea.
Yeah, because those are pretty important for sure.
Yeah, I think I know one game, what I was thinking about too after this was I never put batteries at my third base in PvT. So I was thinking I probably need to have like 1 or 2 batteries here once this base starts getting saturated.
For the push, right? for the 5x
Yeah, because
or
it's
3x.
the third base is such a heavy target for all of their pushes.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
just having a battery or two there probably isn't a bad idea.
Yeah, I think with Colossus specifically, it's really good. If you're playing the double forward style, I don't think it's as good because your charge lots run forward. But since you're playing like Sentry Stock or Colossus, they're all ranged units, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's a good idea. Just make sure that you don't place them too far up because they don't have to go to your third, right? Like
Yeah.
they could come to your natural. So what I would do is place them, like you see the pylon below your nexus?
Yep.
I would place them at the bottom of that pylon range.
So between the pile, like next to the under the pylon, next to the gas.
Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, and here
Okay.
could be great. And then that way your army can benefit from that, from those shield batteries if your army is placed, by the third, or it can also benefit if they're coming into your natural.
Okay, that makes sense.
So let's see where you go from here. You're definitely pretty set back. I mean, your probe count's great. I think you're ahead in upgrades. Yes. So you've got a couple things going for you for sure. But your Colossus count did get reset, so you're not like crazy far ahead. Getting some Templar, okay. I think we talked about this last time, but the first thing you want to prioritize is your Sentry Stalker, not the Zealot Archon, if you can.
Yeah.
And it
I forgot.
That's okay. It doesn't.
And then I didn't have, and then because I like had a brain fart and went blink second.
Yeah.
I was like, maybe not stalkers here.
Oh yeah, that's somewhat fair. Maybe even still, I would still go for it. Like
Okay.
the main problem if you go for this here is if he drops you like right now, then things get pretty crazy. If he starts like boosting medevacs all over the place, or if he goes for like a liberator push, it can get tricky because you can't really micro against him.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Or even just Vikings, like picking apart your Colossus. And Archons can kill the Vikings, but not if he kites them, right? So
Yep.
he can just take advantage of you so easily if you don't make the Sentry Stalker first. So I think it's much better to go that.
Okay.
And then add these units, because these are great units. Just add them a little later. And your setup is very nice. I remember we were talking about your minerals on your fourth, not taking the gases.
I forgot to make the fifth base quicker, which I don't even know on this map. Where do you even put a fifth base? Like the triangle base, I guess?
Yeah, I think the triangle one's good. The next one, and then maybe the bottom one could be good.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not ideal, but it should be okay. So I think here you have the right idea with this push on his fourth, but you have a little bit more time, and you don't quite have the tools you need to do this push. So, like, okay, so first of all, his CC is just started, right? I'm not sure if you knew about the CC, but coincidentally this time it's really good if you didn't know about it. Or if you did, this is great that you reacted by pushing here. So you have more time though, because you don't need to attack until this is like almost a planetary, right? So you still have at least like a minute maybe. And so what you can do in this period is get closer to maxed, first of all. Get some sentries, get some stalkers that you'll want. And then maybe most importantly is getting a war prism across the map, right?
Okay.
Because if you're going to push really committed like this, then you should be able to spend your bank as you push. And it's not a small deal. It's a really big deal, right? Because it's the difference between this army and then like twice this army. Right?
Yeah.
Like 15 more zealots or 15 more stalkers. So it's like really, really big. So honestly, I basically have a rule that I just don't push without a war prism because it's that important.
Yeah.
So this push is great, and this zealot counterattack with DTs is fantastic. Just bring a war prism. And you pull back here. Nice. That was great, actually. That was really, really good. Yep, and you come back in right away when he leaves. Beautiful. I mean,
and here I was kind of just like, let's kill him.
Yeah. I mean, in a more close situation, this definitely wouldn't be a good choice. But I mean, you can clearly see that you're gonna win. So yeah, why not?
Yeah. So that's kind of what I was going for. I kind of in that first push, I kind of let the zealots dive closer to his army just to keep him at that fourth.
Yep.
because I knew I had the DTs coming down here into the south side.
Yeah, for sure.
So I was like, all right, let's try to make him think I'm diving up here to this fourth base, and then I'll pull back like that.
Right.
To give those zealots and DTs down on the south side more time to do work to the SCVs.
Yep. Yeah, that was a great move.
And then I went back in with that main army. So I wasn't ever really fully planning to commit to that fourth base attack.
Sure, yeah.
Unless he went and did something crazy like that, you know?
Okay, yeah.
So that's what I was thinking with that. That push into the third was more of a distraction type thing.
Yeah, that was great. I think I would still bring the War Prism, if that's what you mean. Like, you didn't bring the War Prism because you weren't intending to commit. I think you should still bring the War Prism, even in that case, because he can kind of force a fight in some cases. Like, for example, if he brings his whole army to the top and he just like stims and just chases you down, you're probably forced to fight there. So it would still help a lot if you have like a safety warp in as you're retreating to kind of build up your army. But yeah, that multi-prong was amazing, where you kind of fainted, pulled back, came back in. That was great. I think you mostly won this game pretty early on when you held and you were just like crazy greedy in this period, right? So he didn't punish you, but I think you got really far ahead in this game because of this area right here, right?
Yeah, like I was looking back at the game after it ended because we had somebody casting it. And I went back and watched it and I was like, how in the world did I get up to 88 workers at the end of this game? Like, what is going on?
I mean, 80, it's fine. But you definitely need more bases, and you definitely need to make sure you're not, too greedy in scary periods where he could wreck you. Because I think your late game is starting to look really good, like your mid-late game. And so if you can just get there, you should be feeling pretty confident.
Yeah,
right?
That's it's kind of the two games which I have another game after this one that's slightly different. He doesn't go for, he doesn't exactly go for the early push. He does more of a pull back and drop. Stop play, like what you were talking about.
Yeah, that's a pretty good move when Terrans are playing against Colossus specifically. Let's see how this goes. Maybe this also has to do with you getting your forge first, because
probably
the fast blink is a really big deal for defending exactly this.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly how this game goes. I watched it on fast forward just to kind of see what it was right before this, so I didn't watch a lot of it, but I know he was kind of dropping me a little bit. So
yeah, and as you get better, you'll find Terrans are more capable of doing that, and that's why everybody's going blink first.
Yeah, it's like every time I play, you need like the master one or two players in my clan. That's all it is, just like multi-prong drop stuff, and I'm like, no, just leave me alone.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. There's like a back and forth with Terran. Like first they don't drop at all, and then there's like a period where everybody's dropping like madmen, and then once you get into really high GM, they just stop dropping again because they know the risks at certain periods. So they just don't drop you.
It's super weird.
Yeah. Okay.
Did you see that? You see that too in like the lower levels. Like when I was in like high platinum, low diamond.
Yep.
You have those guys that every time they make 2 medevacs, they'll just load every single unit they have in them and send them across the map. So you have those guys, and then you have the guys that I'm facing now that are more of like the turtle indigos type players. So.
Yeah, and that might be a change in the meta too. I think a lot of people just copy pro gamers, even though it's not necessarily the best thing to do. And a lot of the top Terrans are turtling pretty hard right now. Yeah. So I'm sure that's part of it. But let's see. So this guy's going for a really fast Raven build. Did you know this guy's going Raven? Because there's actually some pretty huge clues here to tell you.
I saw the tech lab.
Yep.
And I saw it wasn't researching. So I was like, all right, that's gotta be a Raven unless he's proxied a fusion core somewhere and is a psychopath.
Sure. Yeah, and that's pretty unlikely too, because the barracks cost so much minerals. Like I don't think he could even afford that.
Yeah, so I'll just automatically assume when I see a tech lab that's not researching that it's going to be a Raven.
Okay, sounds good. I think you should also just be a little bit careful because they can swap this. Like if I'm an open mine drop, I will still have a tech lab on here eventually. So the Terran could have went tech lab and then like medevac.
Yeah, I saw that. I'm pretty sure I played somebody who did that a couple weeks ago because the mine drop hit at like 5 minutes and 15 seconds or something like that. So I'd
Did
already
it
moved
throw
my
you off?
stalkers out because I'm like, oh, surely he's not doing a late mine
Yeah,
drop
no
like
one's that
this.
bad. No one's gonna hit 50 seconds late.
Yeah, for real. And it's like, oh no, here's 3 widow mines for you. And I'm like, oh, that's unfortunate.
Yep, classic. But there is one more clue that you can see that there's a Raven building, or at least not a medevac or a Viking or something like that.
Tech lab on the factory.
It doesn't have to do with the add-ons or anything. It just has to do with the time in the game. So normally the medevac would pop like right now. So when if your Phoenix can just stick around here for the next like 20-30 seconds, you might as well, right? Like there's nothing else to see.
Yeah.
You're going over to the third base. I don't think you need to go over there. You can just chill here and see if anything pops out of the starport. Because like, let's see, your Phoenix has 14 seconds. So I mean, if you don't see anything by now, it has to be a Raven, right? Like Raven build time is insane.
Yeah.
And if it was a medevac, it would have been done for sure. Or if it was a Viking, done for sure. Liberator, even Liberator, probably done. So,
Yeah, that makes sense.
So you can figure out that it's, you know, really likely it's a Raven here.
I think I'm gonna find out here in a minute when my observer dies too.
Oh, see, he said he thought it was a Raven. You should definitely, you know, put your observer somewhere else. Maybe like over here. Oh, I can ping this time.
Yeah, probably.
Use your next hallucination maybe and scout again. Confirm the Raven.
Yeah.
But you have a pretty good idea what this guy's doing, right? Like, I mean, he's gonna go for the 3 racks push for sure.
Yeah, I've got a general idea that it's gonna be some kind of 3 racks, probably tank push. I don't know exactly when it's gonna come, but
Okay, so you have, yeah. So we've already talked about the blink as a priority, and I think everything else looks pretty good. You could have maybe cut down on the stalkers this game if you want, but it's not like super necessary. Oh, there we go. That was beautiful. That was like 1 probe more than a perfect defense. Can't complain about that.
yeah, maybe this is the guy I'm talking about. Maybe he came in later with the what am I dropping? I was like, what in the world?
Yeah, that was
Because I remember that happened, and it was just like the most random what am I timing that I'd ever seen.
Yeah, I mean Raven first, then 1 medevac with mines is pretty peculiar for sure.
So confused.
I think you have way too many gates here. You have 8, right? Yeah, okay, so you want to be careful here. You can get away with 6 with this composition because stalkers cost a lot more.
Okay.
And you don't want to go into charge lots yet, right? I mean, you can get the charge upgrade, you can get a couple zealots if you want, but you mostly want to be making Sentry Stalker Colossus.
Okay.
So to do that, again, you want to cut the probes a little earlier. You're pretty far ahead of them here. So cut a little earlier, and then look for his third base before you continue. Even 16 would be a good place to stop. It's still a little greedy maybe, but I think 16 at the third is pretty okay. Stop there. Make sure he has a third base, and then keep probing.
Okay.
Let's see, because in GM this push hits like now.
Yeah, this guy got like uber supply blocked, and he forgot about his supply mules, so he hasn't used them yet.
Yep. Yeah, Jesus. Well, he's getting the eBay and the armory though. That's way more important.
Yeah, that's true.
Huge 2 medevac.
Yeah,
so
in this game I forgot the observer at the top side of the map again.
Yeah, you're getting punished for the same move almost, right?
Yep. One of these days I might learn.
Go into your early game and figure out when you can get these 2 observers, and then just play through it a couple times, because it's one thing to think about doing this, but it's another to just do it a couple times and then have the muscle memory.
Yeah, I think I remembered at some point because I've got one making right now that's rallied over there.
Oh, okay, great.
But it's way too late, obviously. But
yeah,
luckily he just unloaded in the side of my base and didn't dive straight from my Nexus.
Yeah, this is definitely scary though, because your move commanding. But so, I mean, this could be really scary if this guy was a little stronger, because he should have more units here for sure. Like, this is just 2 medevacs. I mean, this guy could easily have another full force over at your third base right now.
Yeah.
And so this game could get out of control in like 10 more seconds, where you're just like completely screwed. Like you've lost your third and your fourth, and you know he's like way ahead, up like 20 workers, and then the game's like almost over. So you got to be really, really careful. Even if you make a blunder, like you don't know he dropped you, and then suddenly there's a drop, you got to be thinking about another attack coming when you defend. So whenever you defend something, always ask yourself if you're sending too much. Like every single time. Like, am I sending way too much? And then if you are, grab, you know, whatever you don't need and pull it back to your third.
Yeah, I probably should have sent just, I guess, one of the Colossus and then the Stalkers and kept the rest.
Yeah,
probably at the third.
Don't like pick which units you want and then send them. Send them all first and then pull back whatever you don't need.
Yeah.
And that's a much smoother way. But yeah, exactly. One Colossus is probably okay, and then, you know, maybe a handful of these Stalkers would be good as well.
Because most of the time, if Terran sees like a Colossus walking up to their drop, they're just gonna run away anyway. So.
Yeah, no, I mean,
I
Colossus
really need
can
that full
easily
force.
take out all these Marines for sure. Yeah, so I would just pull back maybe 2 Colossus and like the back half basically, behind like the last 2 Colossus and then everything else behind those, just to make it simple. Cool, good defense though. I mean, that went better for you for sure. And you even defended this Raven pretty well also. Yeah, see, I mean, you're destroying him. This game is pretty over as long as you play a clean game here. Let's see if there's any mistakes. But I mean, this looks great right here. Some cannons, okay. These might be a tad early. Usually I'm getting these when I take my 5th, because my 4th and 5th are hard to defend at the same time.
Okay.
So I mean, it's not too early. These are okay. I think you should also put some at your 4th though, and then also take your 5th around here, because you're gonna be really stretched soon on minerals.
That's what I always forget to do, is take the 5th about the time that the 4th base is finished, and I always forget that.
So if you're forgetting, that means you need a trigger, right? It means you don't have a way to remember. So how can you, like, when do you want to take it? You want to take it like now, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably when I have 1,600 minerals in the bank.
Yeah. There's probably a better trigger.
Yeah, probably.
Let's go. Let's say here. Okay, so we probably wanted about, I don't know, now, let's say. So what's just finishing up around this area that you can use to remember to get your 5th?
4th base?
Yep. As soon as that finishes, grab a 5th. It's pretty good.
Okay.
I think some people like partying will take it even faster than that. Because
yeah, but he's insane though, so.
Yeah. And so you can go a little quicker, but you basically need it before the natural runs out, right?
Yep.
And so your natural is still like a minute away, but the Nexus also takes about a minute, so right about here is a pretty good time to throw that down.
Okay. Yeah, I need to get that into my mind to do, but I just don't have that.
Yeah, so next time what you're going to do is you're going to notice that your 4th is done, and you're going to transfer workers, and then you're going to grab a 5th right away.
Yep. And I guess here you'd have to take either the triangle or this weird rich Vespian base. These maps are so weird for like 5th bases.
Oh, that is a rich Vespian. I didn't even notice that one was a rich Vespian. Yeah, I think you should take the triangle one.
Okay.
But maybe not. I mean, maybe you do want this rich Vespian. It's not actually that hard to defend, I think.
Yeah, that's why I was sitting here trying to think. It's like,
I mean, maybe take that, yeah.
Because you're spreading out. And then after that one, I guess you can take this one up here to the north side. If they haven't taken it yet. If they have, just kill it.
Yeah, that one might be difficult. That one's pretty close to them.
Yeah. I guess at that point, you'd have to start expanding down towards the...
Yeah, maybe
towards
take the
right
triangle
side.
at that point, for sure.
But
yeah,
it's weird.
This map could easily be split down the middle, like bottom to top or left to right.
Yep.
I think you could go both ways. So maybe you do end up taking that top base if you want to split it that direction. Is possible, I suppose.
Of course, then I guess you probably don't want them expanding right below your main base as the game goes on, though. So maybe that's not the best idea either.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't really thought about it too much, but I mean, if you're playing a very, let's see.
As you can tell, I haven't gotten to the 5th base phase on a lot of these maps.
It could be more annoying if they're dropping you at the triangle base. So it's probably better to take the rich Vespian, for sure.
Because then you could blink up and down these cliffs if they try to fly to another base.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. And I'm not sure after that. I don't think it matters too much, but But yeah, I could think about that for like my level. For your level, it won't matter at all. Just take whichever one.
Most games end around the 5th base point, anyways. Here.
Yeah. No. Exactly. You're really far ahead, so you should be fine from here. More gates. Okay. Powering up. Dark Shrine. I like it. What I've been doing lately too is DT Shrine plus the Observer and the Gravitic Drive, Gravitic Drive and Gravitic Boosters upgrades.
Yeah, I think I remember maybe towards the very end of this game. Yeah, there we go. I'll start them up right now.
Right on time. And I'm pretty sure
I think that DT Shrine probably needs to be earlier too.
Yeah, maybe a little bit. Could be a little bit earlier. It's not too bad.
Maybe I can start it around the same time I start the 5th base. That might work.
Sure. I think one thing you need to do as well in this game, like similar to last game, is more Stalker at this phase.
Okay.
Just try to get up to about. Well, actually, you have a good amount in your main army for Stalkers, but you need a couple more Sentry, like 3, and you need some Stalkers in your main at this point. Like you don't want to have Stalkers there forever, but you do need them right now because he can still drop you. And you don't quite have enough excess minerals to cannon everywhere, right?
Yep.
So definitely leave like at least maybe 9 exactly would be good.
Okay.
So you can one shot, and then your main army looks great. Just add 2 sentries. Okay. Nice movement. Let's see if you remember a War Prism this game. Yes, you did. Perfect.
Yep, and I got one up to the top side of the map too. I think I have one coming with my army somewhere.
Another combo attack. Oh yeah. I mean, yeah, you're just murdering these guys. Like your early game is getting really good. Your Mind Drop defense is awesome. You're taking your 4th base at a good time. You're getting your upgrades. Maybe the only thing again is just like slightly too greedy in the mid game if they're like really sharp with their pushes. But after that, everything looks really, really good.
I'm really starting to notice that Terrans at my level just have a hard time dealing with that DT charge lot when you attack with a Colossus army at the same time.
Yeah, definitely. It's a scary, scary timing.
I've been loving doing that. That's my favorite thing. My favorite part of this whole new type of play is doing that attack. I love it. It's great.
Yeah, DTs are insane. You can even get the DT blink. It's like, I don't know, insult to injury for these poor Terrans. Like,
I think I get it.
They're like, I got the DTs.
I get it in like half of my games.
Good.
It's usually one of those like, I'm getting up to like 4 or 5 bases and I realize I have a lot of money. I'm like, oh, let's just randomly make DT blink here.
Yeah, no, why not, right? It's pretty cheap, and you save 1 DT and it's already worth it. So
yeah, for sure.
Might as well get it. Sweet, looks good. Do you have some losses as well?
No, I couldn't find any that were like super standard games.
Okay.
Like that.
You just dominate everybody.
Kind of.
Okay.
Like I said, a lot of them. I've been playing a lot of those weird cyclone pushes, and of course you have the crazies who still go 3 racks all the time, which is fairly easy to defend with my build.
Sure. Yeah.
Because of fast Colossus and all that, especially when I remember my shield batteries. Mm-hmm. So I haven't played any on my other account. No, because I had to get eligible for ATL last week.
Yeah. Okay. So maybe. I mean, let's see. What's your weakest matchup right now? Maybe we can just do some ladder here.
Oh no, let's not do that.
Let's not look at your weakest?
No, it's still PvZ. I hate PvZ. PvZ's the devil. Let's look at this one. This is a game I tried to play.
Sorry, resend that.
I tried to play Disruptors in PvP.
Oh, good.
So, let me take off this just in case. I always forget to do that.
Yep. Yeah, good idea.
All right, perfect. There we go.
Okay, set me as...
Oh no.
I was
That's
kicked
the wrong
from the
button.
lobby.
I meant to make you the lobby host, not remove you from it.
It says you invited me, but I can't see it.
I'll just leave and rehost it.
Sure, yeah, let's do that.
Alright, there we go. There's the right button.
Okay, let's see your disruptor micro. Is it feeling a little
It's
better?
interesting. It's interesting.
It's a hard skill. It's a really hard skill.
And then in this game, like I see him going Colossus Bay.
Uh-huh.
So at this level, I was like, he's probably gonna go Colossus. Which he actually winds up doing. So it's probably not the right mindset to have, but it's what I did.
He's probably a noob.
Yeah, and he does, so but the thing is with his army that he makes, he goes like heavy charge lot, Archon, Colossus.
Yeah.
He just like A moves my army.
And he
And
wins.
so I'm firing disruptor shots at him, but he just keeps like A moving me, and it's just weird how the disruptor shots land and all that.
Okay.
So you'll see it here when we get to that phase, but I don't know, it's just kind of odd. Oh, and I put that pylon in the wrong place. It blocked my nexus.
Wait, your opening is like really defensive. Did you see something? Like were you worried he's cheesing?
No, that's just my standard.
Oh, like you usually
My
get the robo
standard
first?
No, I put that pylon and it blocked my nexus.
Oh, okay. So you okay? Gotcha.
So I had to kill that pylon. So while I was full of money, I was like, I'll just go ahead and make the robo.
All right. Okay. Sounds good.
So I usually go robo like right after my nexus, so I get it fairly quick,
Yep.
but not like super quick like this game.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't need it too fast. Even like the fastest DTs are not really that quick. Okay. So you see his macrane. You are a little behind because of the pylon, the probing, but nothing huge. So let's see how you progress here. Got your forge already. Okay, Twilight. Looks pretty good. Yeah, and you've already seen his... We haven't seen the forge, but you saw the Twilight in the gate. So you might be a little...
Yeah, I think I
concerned
go
here.
back in here in a minute and see the forge.
Yeah, great second follow-up scout. Because I mean,
Yeah, I think I'd see it with this one.
It kind of looks like an all-in before you see the forge, right?
Mm-hmm.
In fact, he's like terrified or something. This is weird.
And like with this one, I didn't see the gases here, so I was like,
Well, I mean,
So I
you
go
did
back
see
in and I
double
see the
shield
forge,
battery. So that's double shield battery means he's playing pretty scared. Okay, but you saw
Yeah.
the forge, so that's obviously a big tell as well. And you've teched up here 2 Templar Archives. Forge is looking good. Nice. Yeah, you've got a big lead here, so this is a great start. Which is crazy because you got a robo before Nexus and you still have a great lead in everything.
yeah.
I mean, that's showing you how much better you are right now than these
That's
opponents.
how, like, I go into some of these games and I'm like, what in the world?
Yeah, I mean, it's always harder to rank up even if you're the better player because you're thinking about more stuff than them, right?
Yeah. Plus, there's always a chance that they just do some random dumb shit, like make
Sure, yeah.
Blave Adepts at this point.
Okay, so you're still building Immortals. I would stop building Immortals here for sure.
Okay.
And I would try to get up to 8 gates instead. Because the Immortals are not that good, to be honest. They're actually pretty bad. It's a huge myth. The Immortals, assuming you're playing Charge Lot versus Charge Lot, or Charge Lot Archon versus Charge Lot Archon, I mean, then Immortals are just worse than Archons and Charge Lots. Like you'd much rather just have more Charge Lot Archon.
Yeah.
So you can get 2 Immortals early on, but just make them for safety. I mean, here you have 3, plus you're making a 4th one. So you definitely want to stop making those earlier and then get more gates and more Archons.
Okay, I think with this Phoenix too, I think I see that he has just a dick ton of charge lots.
Uh-huh.
So like at this point, I'm like, what in the world is happening? Is he about to all in me? And then I look at his base and he has like the same number of gates that I do. So
Right.
I don't
Yeah,
know. It's just
even too many. Yeah, I mean, he doesn't really know what he's doing, clearly. He got his
yeah.
third.
So here's when I start going like heavy into charge lots and archons because of what I saw him
Yep.
doing.
Yeah, I mean, you see that he has a 3rd, so you should be okay. Probably I would still power if I was you. Yeah, you're getting your gaze here. You're going up to 8. So, depending on how you play this, you want to go macro, right? You're planning on macroing
yes.
in this phase? Yeah, okay. So if you want to go macro, I think 8 is pretty good. And then just probing up a lot. I don't think you need to worry too much about him all-ending you because, again, he has the third. So even though it looks like he has a lot of charge lots, he literally has no Archons, right? And you have 3 Archons. So, I mean, even without that many charge lots, your army is still really good against what he has. And I saw this earlier, but definitely it's worth pointing out is you got your shield better as your natural, and you should put those between your natural and third base, just like I said you should do with the Colossus, or not with the Colossus, but with the Colossus build in PvT. Put your shield batteries in between the bases, because then you can rotate on either side, right, and still use them.
Yep.
So do that here as well. Because you don't have any your natural, or your third base rather, and so you can't use your shield battery overcharge, which is the most.
I think I put him there when I saw all the zealots because I was worried about him all enemy.
Yep. I mean, if he wins you can still defend at your third though.
Okay. Yeah. That makes sense. Okay.
Yeah. Like the rule is if he's on 2 base all ending you without a third, right? Then you should, every game you should be careful not to go past 2 base saturation before you see his third.
Yeah.
Like you should just be stuck on 44 and checking constantly if he's got a third. And as soon as he matches you with his third, then you can probe.
Okay.
If you do
Even
that,
if you go ahead and get the Nexus.
Yeah, you can still have your Nexus. Just don't use it right away.
Just don't go super heavy on the probes.
Yeah, because just having it is totally fine, and it gives you leverage, right? Like you're not mining from it, but he has to attack you, right? And so you get a bit of a defender's advantage, and you get to use the shield battery overcharge. Your main's also going to mine out by the time he attacks, so you can transfer workers, so you're mining more than him. So there's several reasons it's still good to get it, but you don't need to probe for sure.
Okay.
Just defend and you're good. But you played this pretty good so far. There's not too much to complain about. You're doing a really good job chronoing your forge. Okay, so you know he has a third. You know he's taking gases. So this is, I mean, he's got a second robo even. He's got the robo bay. So I mean, you can go into your own tech here for sure, and you do. Great timing on that. You got your blink on the way already. Perfect. Yeah, everything you're doing here is great. 4th base. I kind of don't like this 4th because it's in the open, but maybe it works. I haven't taken this one. I'm not really sure.
I think I might have been like low on gas when I was trying to do something, so I was like, "Oh, rich Vespene gas, let's just take that one." I think that's what I was thinking.
That is true. Maybe you can stay at the top over here by the third, top of the ramp. But I think it's going to be tricky. Like you don't have a lot of defensive leverage here.
Yeah.
Okay, you're still making lots of Archons. I think you should transition into the Disruptor, like here, right now. So once you get the Robo Bay, just stop making the Archons from now on.
Okay. So no more Archons after you start Disruptors.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And you can chrono these as well. So I mean, you can spend a lot of gas really quick if you're massing Disruptor. Okay, you got 3 cannons, 2, 3 here. Oh, yeah, you're doing great. Oh, the one zealot.
I was wondering what happened over here in my third base. Okay.
The one hero zealot. He helped.
I was like, did he make a Disruptor and just like drop it somewhere weird? But okay, that makes sense.
Okay, yeah, I like everything you're doing right now. Got your DT shrine, observe, or warp prism speed rather. Yeah, everything looks good here. Let's see if you can control.
I'm not sure if this game maybe I went too heavy on the Disruptors.
Oh, come on.
I think I get up to like 9 or 11 at some point.
No, that sounds great. The more the better.
Which is wild, so.
You could definitely go into Stalker from here though. If you have this many, I mean 4, 6. Yeah, you're getting to Stalker territory right now. And at this point of the game, you can really try and leverage your base count because you're going to float a lot of minerals, right? So you can take a 5th pretty quick and just get more gas, or you can try to deny their 5th first if you want to warp in a lot of zealots. But make sure you do something with that minerals.
Okay.
And let's see how
that
this
makes
goes.
sense.
Triple Stargate. Okay. I think it's fine. It's pretty early, so you're gonna have to play more defensive. I wouldn't personally play like this because I think it's boring, but it's really good. Nice zealot counterattack. Yeah, so you're in a great position. I mean, this is fantastic. Let's. And then, okay, so you've evened up the base count. You got some DTs going. And you're attacking. Okay, so this
is kind of where it all goes weird, I think.
Okay. I was going to say, like, maybe not push here because you are teching up into Stargates. And so he should, in theory, have a little more than you. But, I mean, you also do have a pretty big army and good defense. So it's not... It's actually fine here. But just be careful when you take up to Stargate. Okay.
I think I didn't have my my disruptors on the right hotkey there, is why I think I didn't use them.
Gotcha. Okay.
I'm pretty sure I remember that because I tried to keep them on 2.
Man, he is like
so that I can use them, but yeah, I made so many disruptors.
What's this guy doing? Okay, going into carrier.
Yeah, so my kind of thing here was just kind of like poke and trade a little bit until I get carriers up, is what I was thinking.
Just don't take any real fights, right? Okay,
yeah.
Not bad. Good stuff. Nice. Yeah. Just take
and then here
shots.
I think he just gets mad at me for throwing disruptors at him constantly. So.
Oh yeah. Oh yes, you're doing great. Perfect. Yeah, because last time, or not last time, but the time before, you were staying and fighting, right? While you shot the disruptors. And here you did the technique perfect. You're running away, shooting the shots, just like murdering him. Maybe you could have shot like more at once, but that was perfect. That was great.
Yeah, I had somebody's voice in the back of my head telling me not to shoot more than 1 at a time.
No, more than you could do 2. Like 2 at a time is the perfect number because, or maybe even 3 at a time is okay, right? Okay. I'm not sure how many takes at a Colossus. I personally have never had to kill a Colossus with disruptors, but I think Archons are 2 or 3. And
yeah, Archons and Immortals are 2, I know.
Yeah, so if you shoot 2 at a time or 3 at a time against this army, that should be a pretty solid number to take out a lot of these units.
Okay.
Nice. Yep, zone him out. Now you're maybe getting a little risky here with where you've gone because it's going to be harder for you to do the run and shoot technique, right?
Yeah, which is exactly what happens.
Okay. Yeah, so you got to be careful here. Oh, that was a big hit though.
So here I'm like, oh no, I'm stuck.
Yeah. Now this isn't the worst thing ever because you do want to get into Colossus anyways, or it's not Colossus, carriers, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, losing supply here is not the end of the world, but definitely be careful.
Yeah, and then here I think I like lost half of my disruptors, so the rest of them are on cooldown. So I'm just trying to
you're
trying to run away here. So
yep, makes sense. Yeah, that was well done. Okay, I think you probably should have recalled there, like when he kind of pushed you into the corner.
Okay.
Yeah, he did a pretty good job punishing you in this position, not letting you retreat, right?
Yeah. So this here I'm like, I don't know what to do here.
Yeah, I
guess just run away. So
I think what you should really be trying to do is save some of these disruptors because you're really going to need them in the fight. So if you want to sacrifice some of these charge lots, like attack move with everything except the disruptors, and then get the disruptors back more, and then retreat with everything and shoot your disruptor shots.
Okay.
Because right here, they're at the front, right? So they're easily going to get targeted down.
Yeah.
And so you could have prevented that. But, I mean, you play this game very well, and now that you have carriers, I think you're pretty unstoppable, right? Like, you win this game? Yeah.
So here I was just like, carriers!
Yeah, you've been researching upgrades pretty early as well. So, I mean, I don't think you can lose from here. This army's insane. And he has Colossus, which are just totally useless.
Yeah, and he goes like mass locker at some point here. And when I saw that, I was like,
yep.
Get out of here.
Yeah, you can compete with Archons against carrier, but not if you have a worse economy.
Yeah. And so here I was kind of worried because all my interceptors started dying, I guess, to the Archons.
Yeah, I mean, this fight would have went a lot better if you had an observer. So
Yeah, because I
maybe
had
you
to
can take that
I had to
fight.
attack that mothership.
Yeah, like you could definitely pull back if you had cannons at your most recent base, and then it wouldn't matter that you don't have an observer for a second, so you'll have time to replace it. So I would have pulled back there and just waited before taking that fight, because that definitely helped him a lot in that battle to tank damage, right?
Yep.
But yeah, what is this? 12 carriers? I mean, come on, man.
All of the carriers is what it is.
All of the carriers. Yeah, GG. Get out, Eon.
Yeah.
Sweet.
So.
No, this is great. This game, honestly, this showed really big improvement from your last PvP. Like, you basically did everything right here. It's hard to find stuff to complain about in this game.
Yeah. I still need to learn. I still need to work more on, I guess, the microing with the microing and engaging with the disruptors.
Right.
Because like you said, that one fight when I got chased up into the corner, I just had no clue what to do.
Yeah. Like, I don't think that was so much the micro, just like your positioning was a little like greedy. I would call it that, right?
Yeah.
Like you could have been more safe with your positioning so that you had room to run back. But the micro itself was great. Yeah, I really liked your micro that game. And there's maybe, like, probably what you'll find as you play better players is they're going to take more advantage of you if you're not really sharp with your transitions. Like, when is it actually safe for you to take, to get your tech, and when's it safe to probe your third? That kind of thing.